blind love is brought in subjection to it. That means blind love subjects the faculties, it subjects it. What does blind love do? There's steps that blind love leads to. I want you to follow the steps of blind love. There's steps, and eventually it leads to either divorce or suicide. Inspiration says that's the end result of blind love. Now let me say this, if someone never understands these principles, and in the world they didn't know better, and things happen, fair enough, understand that. But now we're talking about us who know these truths. The warning is for us. If we already taken the step and things, fair enough, we didn't know you were in the world. But for us who are in the truth now and we're learning these things, our eyes are getting open. So God wants us to take wise steps. Now I want you to see the end result of blind love or this contagious disease or suicide or divorce. But let's see what's the steps that lead there. It says, they seem to be devoid of good sense. Who is they? Those who have blind love. They seem to be devoid of good sense, and their course of action is disgusting to all who behold it. With many, the crisis of the disease question, when someone's in the crisis of the pandemic and they're sick, where do they end up in? Hospital. What do they put on? That's the crisis of the disease. What is the crisis of this contagious disease, blind love? What is the crisis? Look what she says. With many, the crisis of the disease, she calls it a crisis, is reached in an immature marriage. So inspiration says an immature marriage is a crisis. That's the height of the sin. Now let's see what she continues saying. She says, and when the novelty is past and the bewitching power of lovemaking is over, one or both parties awake to their true situation. Now they wake up and they realize, hey, I'm next to a demon. Or the other one realizes, yeah, she's the demon. Or they both see demon. And there's war in the house. Does that happen? That's blind love. You wake up one day and realize you're next to a demon. Now let me say this. No husband and wife are demons here. I want them to know on camera. No demons here. No demons here. All right? But we are just saying that the crisis of this contagious disease is an immature marriage. And then they both wake up and realize, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. It says, where did I stop? They then find themselves ill-mated but united for life. They're ill-mated. You know what she says in Adventist Home? She says they're ill-mated. You know what she says in Adventist Home? She says they are mated but not matched. Mated means male and female. Dogs mate. Any male and female dog mates. But they are not matched. There's a difference. A woman and a man can be mated because female, male. They're mated. It's not mated when it's man and man, when it's woman and woman. But when it's man and woman, they mated. But it's possible to be mated and not matched. Yes, it's possible. That's why courtship. Then she says, bound to each other by the most solemn vows. They look with sinking hearts upon the miserable life they must lead. So now when they wake up, they realize I'm next to a demon and I'm going to live a miserable life, and their hearts sink because they know they're bound with vows that cannot be changed. You know what's the two ways out? They think I only commit suicide to get away, or I divorce the person, or the other person says I need to kill him so I can be free. And then poison takes place. How the man died? No, we have made him some food. I didn't know the food was off. Man's dead, his face is blue. Poison the man. I tell you, when I hell, you try a trick like that. You're going to hell. Watch the screen. It continues. Where did I stop? The right one, Gibson. It says, they ought, what do you do when you realize you're next to a demon now? After this disease caught you, blind love, you wake up, you're next to a demon. It says, they ought then to make the best of their situation, but many will not do this. So when you realize now, it's a demon, you now need to make the best. You will need to make things work. There's no turning back. The door is shut behind you. You have to make it work. But watch what she says, prophet of God speaking. She says, they will either prove false to their marriage vows. Someone will prove false. Or make the yoke which they persist in placing upon their own necks so very galling that not a few cowardly put an end to their existence. So either husband tortures wife, that wife feels the only thing I do, I can kill myself because I'm already dead living with this man. Or the husband says, this woman gets to me so much that he goes and he commits suicide. What are we talking about? A contagious disease. Then we start speaking about the one out there, which is that, the pestilence. But we are speaking about another contagious disease. What is it called? Now question, does blind love, does it affect the home? If Satan wants you to fail on the home, first, you know what we are told in Selected Messages, book 290, she says an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. What is an ounce of prevention? What's an ounce? Very small. What is a pound? Very big. So she's saying an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So what she's saying as a minister, stop them before they make that decision. Make them better that search. And then if you are ready there, as a minister, encourage them to make the best of it. No turning back. No turning back now. Blind love. Blind love is a disease. There were other 3 diseases she mentions. I said I can't touch on them because the study is so lengthy. But another time I'll speak about the other contagious, deadly diseases. She mentions 3 of them. I'll get to them another time. Now, what I want us to do, I'll skip that one. I want you to see what the woman of God says. We are talking about the home. It says, if those who are contemplating marriage would not have miserable, unhappy reflections of the marriage, they must make it a subject of serious, earnest reflection now. Are we trying to do that? Why? We know that sanctification begins where? In the home. This step taken unwisely is one of the most, what does she say? Effective means of doing what? Of ruining the usefulness of young men and women. So if Satan sees that you are a tool in God's hand and he wants to stop you, according to inspiration, what will he do? Sorry? So you bring you someone who, he knows that it's gonna kill you. You will be mated but not matched. Mated, male and female, but not matched, not compatible. It says, what happens? Life becomes a what? A burden and a curse. Now it becomes a curse. You even dread waking up. No one can so effectively ruin a woman's happiness and usefulness and make life heart-sickening burden as who? Her own husband. So who can stop a woman and destroy her? Are you seeing why sanctification, beloved, home? We're dealing with the roots. But then she continues, and no one can do 100 apart as much to chill the hopes and aspirations of a man and paralyze his energies and ruin his influence and prospects as his own wife. It is from, watch this, it is from the marriage hour that many men and women date their success or failure in this life and their hopes of the future life. So she says when that vow is taken, there they date their success or their failure, both in this life and in the life to come. One more quotation. Oh, I'll skip that. I tell you, even if the devil led you to marriage, you make the best of it. Look what the woman of God says. Who influenced this woman to get married? It says a marriage was a deception of who? Yet now she must do what? Make the best of it. So even if the devil courted you and married you, inspiration says you have to make the best of it. There's no out. There's no out.